All right, so this is our second team call of November. And today I'm basically, because most of you guys on this call today are newbies, I just wanted to go through connecting and what to say and making a list. Because sometimes, we can be so focused on, I've got to post and I've got to do this and I've got to do that, but we've got to really focus on the main thing when it comes to network marketing, and that's networking and creating relationships and asking for the solution, right? Asking for how can we help you? How can we provide assistance? So what I'm going to be doing is sharing my screen. And for most of you on here, I've walked you through the templates that we use with oureasytraining.com. And so basically where you can find this, if you write this down, it's just oureasytraining.com. It will bring you to the main page of here, but what we're going to start off with is nutrition step 1, and then just going down to executive launch. So let me just make sure I can see everybody here. If you raise your hand if you have done step 1 of listing 10 character traits that you desire in a potential business partner / customer. Okay, perfect. So what I would like us to do, if we can even just do 2 minutes of this together, is writing down character traits that are non-negotiable with somebody that you desire as a partner. For example, integrity, honesty, leader, goal-driven, etc. So let's just do that for a quick 2 minutes. Don't overthink it, just put down what you desire.
Can you let Nikki in, please, Steph?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. I didn't know she was coming, my apologies. There we go. All right, Nikki, if you can just mute yourself as you're coming in, but basically, I know we did this together yesterday. The girls are just writing down their 10 character traits. All right, so I'm just going to move on to step 2. And if you haven't finished, we can just continue this as homework. Then basically, right, we want to list down at least 10 to 20 people that you know that fit in with the character traits that you've already listed. Okay, so who do you know that wants to actually work from home? We're in a situation now where it's like a lot of people are, but who really wants to work from home and design their own day and work for themselves? Who do you know that's entrepreneurial, that's coachable, that's into health and wellness? Who do you know that's in the beauty space if you're really leveraging the collagen? List them down and don't judge who you're putting down, because one thing is that the ones that you think will won't, and the ones that you think won't will. That's what I've definitely learned over time. So just put down a bunch of names that you know in your current network. We'll do that for 2 minutes and then we'll move on to the next.
sometimes if the names don't pop up in your mind, honestly, just open up your phone contact list or your messenger quickly. And just scroll through some of or click on friends, and then you'll be able to go like, ooh.
All right, guys, so we'll step to the next part. So what I'm going to show you right now, we'll go into the top-down invitation. This part here as well, you can do this in your spare time, but to expand your list, right? You always want to be expanding your list in network marketing. So these are really good memory joggers right here of people that, you know, you could think of that might be a good fit. It has everybody from, you know, a pharmacist, a chiro, a car salesman, gyms to, you know, your mother-in-law. Like it's endless, right? So when you're feeling stuck, you know, you have this to look over to kind of refresh your memory. But Mara is right. Getting on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, whatever you're using, can be really helpful to kind of like memory jog, like, oh yeah, she would be amazing. So just do that. I'm a visual person, so if you're visual, that will be helpful for you. So we'll click on top-down invitation. We'll go to the next part here. And this is just for example for tonight, right? Obviously, when you're doing this top-down invitation, it's important that you've established some sort of relationship already. We're not just going right in, we've never met somebody and just saying, hey, would you like, you know, we want to establish a relationship. So the people that you've put down on your list right now, I'm sure that you must know them or you have some sort of relation, okay? So just for instance, if we actually know this person, you literally could say, hey, Bob, I'm reaching out because I found a way to some mentors who are teaching me how to build an online business in the wellness space. And I thought you might be interested in it too. Does it sound like something that might be up your alley? Right? It could be that simple. Okay. Or it could be, and I love sharing this and I'm going to share it in our group, but the Master of Inviting by Emily Vabra, it's a really great one where it's, I thought of you because if I showed you, would you be open to, right? So you could be like, hi, Bob, you know, you're one of the most hardworking, inspirational people that I know. If I showed you a way where you could use those talents or use that way to not only diversify your income, but help more people, you know, expand X, whatever, right? Would you be open to learning more? Right? So you could just make it really, really personalized to the individual. Okay. And I know when we're starting network marketing, something just as simple as saying these two sentences here can get really overwhelming, right? It can feel like there's some resistance. It can feel like not right. But, you know, I want you to know it's normal to feel that way in the beginning, but just go back to last week. If you weren't on the call, we went back to your why are you doing this? What's your vision for this? So when you make it more about them and not about you, that's the best way to get out of your own way. The best way to get out of your own way is just taking action and having bold courage within yourself to just ask the question. If they say no, fine, no. No doesn't mean no forever, means not right now, right? You're just planting the seed. So just have bold courage to ask, because if you don't ask, you're not going to get, right? And so basically, if they ask, you know, what is it, you can literally follow this script until you feel comfortable mastering it in your own way. But having this foundation is just really, really helpful. Obviously, you don't want to sound like a robot, but this is going to be really helpful to you as you're learning to find your way through this, right? So that's when you go back to your 30-second story. You could be like, you know, I was working paycheck to paycheck. I was burnt out. I was always had a strong desire to design my own day and travel. And when this came into my life, it was like a light bulb switched off, and I was like, this is the way. This is the way I'm going to get out, and I'm going to be able to help more people in doing so, right? I thought of you because I know how much that you want to travel and you want to help people and you want to make an impact. So you can go through it like that. And then basically we're just following this through, right? So you can talk about your story, X, Y, Z. Mara, do you want to come in here and say anything when you get to this point?
Is this on the back of lauding?
We'll get into lauding, because like this is kind of just bumping off from the direct ask from our list. Yeah.
So nothing to add then. I just think some of those messages sound like you already know what they're looking for, or you've already had a conversation with them where you know they've complained about one thing, whether they did that last week or 2 years ago, and you're sort of catching up with them and saying, hey, I remember when we had that chat, and I just found the vehicle that's going to get me there, and I thought, man, let me share it with you. If you want more information, I'd love to chat with you sometime. Either way, there's no stress, no worries about it. But yeah, so that's I think on the back of it works with this, but also on the back of what we do with lauding, which is an awesome way to get there, where you find out so much about them to then be able to make an offer.
Absolutely. Thanks, babe. One thing here, guys, because we are using Zach and Eden's training here, is when it comes down to this part where they're open to learning more, and then basically it's saying, great, we're holding webinars. In this situation, I just encourage everybody to leverage us, leverage me and Mara to get into three-way conversations, because the third-party validation is everything. Having that third party for someone else to share their story, people want to know how it can work for them when they see it through somebody else's story. Okay, so I encourage you in your spare time, you know, just to go over this, right? And just to take some bold courage and just send the message. And if you want you want me to come along and maybe do like a 30-minute power hour together where we can do this together, I'm more than open to, because you guys are still learning, and I don't want you guys to feel like you're in the deep end, because this should feel good, right? We're off. Before, when you didn't have this, you didn't have a solution. When your friend's like, oh man, like I'm struggling, I don't know how I'm going to pay X, or I'm so tired, I'm so bloated, I don't know what to do. Like, you're giving somebody some hope because you have a solution now, right? Okay. So that's just that part for tonight. So for homework, continue your character traits if you haven't finished, continue your list, and then start studying the top-down invitation, okay, of how you can really do this. And it's the same for collagen as well. So if we go to collagen systems and we go to top-down invitation for new associates, it's the same thing. It's very, very similar, okay? So Mara, did you want to go into the famming and lauding? Awesome.
Yeah, you go.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna stop my share. I love seeing everybody's faces, yay. Okay, so when you're starting, just say, with that list that you created, you obviously know those people. Who's this? You obviously know these people. So when we need to add to our list again, we need to make sure that we're famming people. So find that message, or on Instagram, you're finding, you're engaging, and then you're adding. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. I need to get a bigger whiteboard. You see that? everybody that's on here right now has gone through this, I think, except Nikki. I don't think she's done the famming, so this is great. So find, add, message. Okay. And so there's many different ways of finding and adding people online. It's become quite a thing that I really enjoy doing. And you can find your own way of doing it yourself. For example, on Instagram, you could search somebody through a local tag. You could search somebody through a place. You could do a hashtag Perth Mamas, or hashtag Phoenix Entrepreneurs, or hashtag, Vegas Pilates. Anything, right? You could do anything that's specific to who would you want in your space? Who would you want to be friends with, right? For me, I'm a big foodie. I love coffee. I love cafes and chilling in those places. So one of my favorite places in Phoenix is called Berdina's. So I'll look up people who are tagged at that cafe. And then I'll scroll through, and it's kind of like you're headhunting in a way, but a fun way, because you're like, I'm looking for friends. I'm looking to partner. I'm looking to, make an impact. Really, at the end of the day, if these people say no, you're still friends. That's the main thing here. You want to hold the relationship. This is not transactional. So that's an option for you, what you guys can do. If you're on Facebook, you can get into Facebook groups. So you could look up a local group like Phoenix Foodies. You could do Perth Fit Mums. You could do Phoenix Photographers. Anything that is relevant to you and something that you're passionate about, get into a group and start connecting with people on there. Start engaging in people's posts. And then if you really connect with somebody and you start talking in the group, add them on Facebook and start, saying, hey, Chelsea, I really enjoyed your post today. It was really informative. Tell me about yourself. Like, are you from Perth originally? Or you could just do anything like that. Yep, and so Mara's got it here, guys, in the chat if you want to copy and paste it. These are some examples of how you could start famming people. Does everybody see that? Raise your hand. You can see it in the chat. Perfect. So these are ways that you can use. It's simple. So just copy and paste all that. I feel like Mara wants to say something.
Just have them in your notes. Yeah. I have stuff like that. I use my notes a lot on my phone. And sometimes if I'm like a little bit lost for words, or I can't think, things get real foggy and I'm like, oh, what do I say? And I just go to my notes and I kind of like mix and match depending on the scenario. But I think with this is like, just, chest up high, remember your posture, remember you're the one that's potentially offered them a life-changing experience. So I think the biggest blockage we have here with these messages is what's going on in here before we send the message. Because we probably think, oh, what are they going to think if we send this message? And it's like, that's the stuff that you need to get rid of, like 100%. Like Steph sent you guys that Emily Vavra, podcast with like how to deal with haters. But in there, she also messaged, like, if you care about what other people think, you'll never move forward in this. My biggest thing is, if they're not paying for your mortgage or your rent, you shouldn't care. Like, it's like, nobody's going to take care of you like you're going to take care of you. So I think it's really important. Still have integrity. I'm very heart-based. When I send messages, I really like to connect on a heart, sort of in a, like, I don't even know, like in a soulful way with people. I love to connect from pain sometimes, from things that we go through as people, struggle. And so just know that you might just be that person that has something to offer them. And when you come from that space, it's integrity, it's honest, and you can't go wrong. And whatever they think of you afterwards, it also doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter. Absolutely. So yeah.
Yep. It's true, guys. And another thing that you can do, just going back to connecting, is people that are liking and commenting on your posts that you haven't met before, right? You can connect with those. You can find and message them. You can learn more about them. Connect. That's a great way of doing it as well. We'll go on to Lording as well, because I just want to respect everybody's time and I want Mara to share something with you guys as well. But the next one is when you fam somebody, the next thing you want to do is start Lording them. And so Lord stands for a location. O stands for occupation. R stands for recreation or hobbies. And then D is like dreams, vision, etc. Okay. And so this is how you can formulate it. You could literally connect with a lady, you love it, her vibe, her page, everything. And you could just say, hey, Steph, I came across your page through an AZ hashtag. And I got to say, I'm absolutely drawn to your photos. I see that you love coffee, you're a fur mama and you're married just like me. Just thought that I would connect in here as I love to, get to know new people in this area as I'm not from here originally or something like that. I say it a little bit more gracefully, but I'm just doing this off the top of my head. But you get the point, and then you just send. We're not going into it immediately with, hey, Steph, I see that you're really into health and fitness. I'm starting a 16-week challenge, and I wanted to know if you want to lose some weight with me. We're not doing that. We want to go in and connect with people 100% first and let it flow with keeping in mind of Lord. You want to get to know these people. Who are they? What do they do? Do they have family? Do they have pets? What's their vision? Right? And then from there, you can naturally start connecting the dots of where we could help them. They might just have amazing energy. And you're like, hey, I'm just so drawn, I'm magnetized to your energy. I don't know if this is for you, but I think that you would actually crush at what I do. Would you be open to learning more? That's it. Some people are like, yeah, sure. I mean, I like you, so why not? Let's talk.
Right? The magic happens in those, like you listening, like asking the questions and then listening. And I can't tell you how many times it happens that with location, they're like, yeah, I'm in Sydney, but I would really love to be in like Melbourne because I can't afford to go visit my mom as often, and now she's unwell, and it's like this and that. And so it turns out like we've got a strong point, something they complain about in a way that they don't have enough of, or they want more of. And so when I made the offer, which I just put into the chat, it's like, well, hey, Barbara, would you be open to checking out a bit of information on how you can travel every single month or make the whole move without stressing about money to Melbourne and spend time with your mom? No worries if not, just thought I would ask. So whatever they told you or complained about or saying they're like suffering from, or like it could be again physical with this, or it could be financial. Then you make the offer based on that. You don't give them any more information. You just say, hey, if I showed you how to do exactly that, would you be interested to chatting more?
And Mara, I just wanted to throw this in. Maybe you can help me with this. But, for the newbies in here that are just starting and maybe they don't have that story yet with just say the money, for example, we could kind of go into, hey, this is what I'm really excited about. This is what I'm working towards about, right? We could just start off with.
Yeah, or say I'm currently working with someone that's already, bringing in like an average of $200, $300 a week. And I'm also working with someone that's bringing in a few thousand a week who is helping me do exactly that. So you can say they're helping me achieve exactly what I'm like looking for. This is what I'm sort of my goal is, but of course I'd like to aim for this. Yeah. We will help you. Like, you don't need to have the success story yet. You just need to be so freaking excited. That's what they're going to buy into. They don't care if you're making it yet. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
They just, because when people see that you are like ready to go, they want to ride with you no matter what it is, because you are just so driven, and people are attracted to people that are confident and driven and they know where they're going. I remember when we had Peter at the front of the room, and it didn't matter what the heck she was doing and where she was going, but we knew she had so much conviction behind everything that she said that we just followed her no matter what she said. And let me tell you, she made so many mistakes when she spoke about whatever, all the things that she spoke about, but we didn't care because we knew she was going to do it every day every time we had that Wellness Wednesday event, she said, I'm going to retire my mom and this is what I'm going to do. And we were like, yes, you will. Like, it was like we were zombies. Like, it didn't, does that make sense? So you can be that with your conviction. You're like, just watch me. It's just that bit of attitude. And I know in America, like, people don't have that issue because they're going to tell people, hey, you watch this space, watch me what I'm going to do. In Australia, it's a little bit different, I guess. We like kind of wait for someone else to say something good about us, or like, you watch that girl, and then we're like, yes. But I think when you talk to people and say, this is where I'm going, I'd love to take you with me, I think it's really powerful. Yeah, did you want me to go step into like breaking?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And then we'll wrap it up.
Sweet. So we'll try and smash this in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I think something I did as an exercise, I do it all the time, but and you guys can do it as well. When you want to calculate like cycles, or in terms of cash, like what are you wanting to like create every single week? I know the average with you guys ideal would be 10 cycles a week. That's also called 1 star. 10 cycles a week. So that's 10 times $54, or some of you guys have a little bit less than that, depending on how much I've learned a bit more about in America. Depending on your percentage of team, it's paid, I don't know. Anyway, so it's 10 times the cycle. That's basically, which is around let's say around the $500, $500 to $600 a week. Am I right to say that that's kind of like would be an amazing, yeah, $500 to $600 a week to start with? Cool. So you guys know there's a few ways for us to get paid. At the beginning, what I encourage everyone is just to acquire new customers, right? So when we enroll people, we get what we call PIBs, which is product introductory bonuses. And they're obviously different amounts for different packs. For like the bigger packs, like the ultimate packs, you get around the $100 sort of bonus. The premium packs, you get around the $80 or $50 in the US. And the 30-day like basics, you get, for us, I think it's $25. When we do 2 or more enrollments in the week, they double, right? So if you do, like I've just done now an ultimate, well, Zara sent the link upstairs. So whilst we're doing this, I just made $100. So, but then if I do 1 more enrollment this week, which I will, because I want to double it, that will become $200. And the second pack I'm doing, if it's like, let's say a 30-day, I'll get a $50 as well. So $250 for enrolling 2 people. That's pretty good, right? So far, you see just $250 from using the PIBs. So if you, let's say, did 3 ultimate packs, that's your $600, 200, 200, 200. Obviously, that's a little bit more, that's your own work. It's like you hustling, having a lot of conversations. It's a lot of work, but the money is really, really great at the beginning when you want to see some cash coming in, which is really important. It's really good to do those enrollments. Have at least, I would say, 40 conversations, 20 to 40 conversations a week to get those 2 enrollments every week. I can tell you that the first 6 months of my like time in this business, you can join us, Sarah. All I did is aim for 2 enrollments a week. 2 enrollments a week. It was a non-negotiable thing for me because I was building my team. Out of all the enrollments, I knew 10 of those will be consultants and beyond. So right now, your job is really to acquire your customers who will become your team. So you can do this with packs, which requires you to do quite a bit of work, or as we have discussed earlier, you could do it with the help of the team. So here you are, and you've enrolled your, first few people. Let's say you've enrolled 4 people, 2 on either side. Yeah? Hey, honey.
Hi.
Do you want to say something? Hi. Straight. So I'm like calculating the BV and so let's say you start on 200 BV, and then you've got your team, right? You've gone consultant. Someone started on 100 BV. Someone started on 200 BV. You enrolled another 2 people last week. They started on 250, and someone else here started on a premium like 300. The way the cycles are being calculated, it's running up and down, right? So it all adds up. So let's say you've got, 300 on one side and 600 on one side. By the way, I didn't calculate it, so please don't. That's your cycle, right? So one cycle, which is about 54 US or $60 for us here in Australia. $60. Now, you can see now that yes, bees, you've also cycled, right, which comes from the packs, but really, when is it going to be the easiest amount to make the 10 cycles? So 10 cycles is basically 10 times this, so it's 3,000 on one side, and 10 times this, 6,000 on the other side. And the easiest way to do that is you guys aiming for that executive plan, right? So having the consultant. So when you create a consultant, so let's say you've got Cassie's here and we've got Nikki, right? Nikki now shares with two people. These two people start on 200 and 300. That now is not only you started Nikki on 200 BV, but that she started 2 people. So it's almost like triple the BV now. This is now already going to give you, that's 300 one cycle, another cycle. That's 2 cycles. So you've just like doubled just by helping your team now develop. So all of a sudden, you're not going to be doing all of these enrollments and all this work to just cycle once. You help your team develop, and then the cycles double, triple, and then it starts going to 1 cycle, 2 cycles, 3 cycles, 4 cycles, and so forth. So a way, let me just delete some of this stuff. So let's say with working just on one leg, so let's say you've got one leg that's a little bit stronger because it belongs to Steph, and then you're working on one leg a little bit more. So let's say you've got this person, you're helping them go consultant, that average will be around the, let's say 500 BV average, because it's like the person started on 150 or 200, and then the 2 people that they started. So let's just average it. It'd probably be more than 500, but let's just say they start on like smaller packs. You start another person, you help them get paid, here's another 500 BV. All of this adds up in that left and right bank, right? So all of a sudden, your cycles are going up with you not even, because these people are going off. And let's just say this person you enroll like this week, hairdresser, she starts a beautician, and this person goes absolutely ballistic and enrolls like 100 people. What do you think is going to happen to your cycles? It's going to go nuts. So it's going to go 1, 2. How do we do that? Is by helping our people. So like I said, you can keep doing the work and you're enrolling people because you want to find those people that are going to share, but you're going to get to 10 cycles when you help your people get paid. And if you aim to get the next 5 people you start get paid, you will get there. You will get there. So aim for, again, of course I want you guys to aim for 10 consultants and get to executive, but does that make sense? Or I hope I didn't confuse anyone. Does that make sense? So when you're looking at your back office, it tells you how much BV you need on either side. Work with that. So how much more you need on your left, how much more you need on your right. You can also download the app IsoPulse. That will also tell you the BV. And it will tell you how much more you need on either side to cycle. But always think like, okay, my aim is 5 cycles. So it's 5 cycles. So what's that? 5 times 300 on one side and 5 times 600 on the other side. Cool. Calculate that and then have a look how you're going to do that. Are you going to do that with enrollment plus helping your team share? Or how are you going to do it? Because you can do it by either helping your people get paid or by you hustling really hard and doing 1 million enrollments. I would say a mix. You do your own enrollments as well because you guys need your brand new team, but also help everyone that you get started. The question, it should be like a habit. The question should be like, also not sure if this is going to help you, but we have a referral system. So if you wanted to do this with 2 of your best friends, or you wanted to find 2 accountability buddies to do this with, you actually get back anywhere between $200 and $400. So let me know if this is something that would help you. I'd love to show you how. We do this because we want the person to have the best experience physically, but also no stress about the financial side of it, which also adds to having better well-being. That's it. Don't tell them how. Don't just go, look, I'm not sure if this is going to help you as well. I'm just going to add this in. I know you're just starting for the products. I don't know if this is add more well-being to your life, not having to stress about the financials. We do have a referral system. So if you wanted to find 2 accountability buddies, do this with 2 friends, with 2 besties, with 2 family members, you can get anywhere between $100 to $500 back. I would say at least 100. But you guys know in America, you guys have like the smaller packs as well and the collagen. And so I don't want to say like $300 and then they go like get back $150 and they like, you told me this much. So just be aware when you do say that. But in Australia, it's pretty good. I know Cass is really leading nutritionally with the bigger packs. So Cass, for you, you know, even if they start 2 30-day packs, that's 50-50. So that's 100. You get another 50 for becoming consultant. And they probably also cycle once, which is another 60. So it's like a minimum of like $200 that they will receive. Okay. Yeah. Any questions? I think I did say something in the chat. Can you walk step by step with the referral system with us, please? Nikki, yeah, let's do that with you separately, love. I'll do the whole compensation plan with you if you want, because I think I did it with pretty much everyone else on the call, didn't I? Talisa, I did it with you. Yeah. Cass, I did it with you. At least you know this, like, but anytime I can refresh it, but we don't have time on this call. Yeah. But yeah, I'll do it with you, Nikki, when next few days when you can take away like 15 minutes away from hubby.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap this up just to respect everybody's time. We appreciate you so much jumping on, making time out of your day. I hope this was really valuable. We'll post the recording in our group chat. And then if you have any questions as you go along, ask for what you need. We're here for you. So just ask us because we can't read minds, all right? All right, guys. Well, much love. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you guys so much.
Wait, we didn't do.
Oh, we need a photo. We need a Oh my gosh. All right, guys, come on. Oh, I did this last time.